Hello everyone. Today I will describe about newer concept of urogenital diaphragm. Before come to newer concept, you should aware about older concept of urogenital diaphragm. So first I will describe older concept and after that I will describe newer concept. For older concept, I made a demo for you to easily understand. Here you can see this articulated pelvis. This is pubic symphysis and attachment of urogenital diaphragm here. Suppose this is urogenital diaphragm. It attaches on articulated pelvis like this. This urogenital diaphragm have two fascias. This is inferior fascia and this is superior fascia. And in between these fascias there is one muscle mass. This muscle mass made from two muscles. First is sphincter urethri muscle. This muscle present anterior part of this muscle mass, and second is deep transverse perineal muscle, or we can say transverse perini profundus muscle. This muscle presents posteriorly. Now I will describe about them one by one. So this is inferior fascia, or we can say perineal membrane, or we can say triangular ligament, or superficial fascia. So why this inferior fascia known as superficial fascia? Because we always approach perineum down to up. That's why this inferior fascia known as superficial fascia. Okay. So this inferior fascia or perineal membrane is a flat triangular membranous sheath. It starts from ischiopubic ramus of one side and stretches across the subpubic angle to insert on ischiopubic ramus of other side. In this diagram, you can see this is male perineal membrane, or we can say male inferior fascia, and this is inferior surface of this inferior fascia. This inferior surface covered by bulb of penis medially and corpus cavernosum laterally. But in female, this inferior surface of inferior fascia covered by bulb of vestibule medially and corpus cavernosum laterally. As inferior fascia reaches the posterior border of deep transverse perineal muscle, here it is reflected upward around the posterior border of deep transverse perineal muscle to become continuous with superior fascia. In posterior midline, it attaches to the central tendon of perineum. Anteriorly, as the inferior fascia of urogenital diaphragm approaches the pubic symphysis, it becomes thickened and turned around the anterior border of this muscle and to become continuous with fascia of superior surface of urogenital diaphragm. And this thickening of fascia at anterior border known as transverse perineal ligament, or we can say transverse pelvic ligament. And here you can see just below pubic symphysis presence of arcuate ligament. So this is arcuate ligament and this is transverse perineal ligament, and in between two ligament there is a gap. Through this gap, deep dorsal vein of penis entered the pelvic cavity. Here in this diagram you can see this is male perineal membrane, and the middle portion of this perineal membrane, which is covered under bulb of urethra, is perforated by artery of bulb and duct of bulbourethral gland and urethra. And this portion, which is covered under crura, penetrated by deep artery and dorsal nerve and artery of penis. And in this diagram, this is perineal membrane of female, and it is penetrated by vagina and urethra. Now come to superior fascia. This superior fascia is also flat and triangular like inferior fascia. This superior fascia also known as deep fascia, and this superior fascia starts from ischiopubic rami of one side and ends on ischiopubic rami of other side. Anteriorly and posteriorly it is attached to perineal membrane. Laterally it is attached to medial border of ischiopubic rami, and thereafter it is continuous with the obturator fascia. And middle portion of this fascia becomes thick because it occupies the genital hiatus. This fascia pierced by urethra and vagina in female, but in male the prostate rests on the pelvic surface of this fascia. Here the prostate gland rests, okay, and the connective tissue which is present below the prostatic capsule is blended with this fascia. So this part of this superior fascia, which is present between this blending with glandular capsule and pubic bone, makes a ligament, okay. So this portion of fascia makes a ligament, and this ligament known as true ligament. This true ligament have three strands: one middle puboprostatic ligament and two lateral puboprostatic ligaments. Now come to this muscle mass. This muscle mass made from two muscle: sphincter urethral muscle anteriorly and deep transverse perineal muscle posteriorly. And these two muscles described together as constrictor urethrae. Now come to sphincter urethral muscle. This is paired muscle. In this diagram you can see this is musculature of urogenital diaphragm in males. Here you can see this is sphincter urethral muscle. This muscle surrounds the whole length of membranous portion of male urethra. This muscle made from two type of fibers: external fiber, internal fiber. These are external fibers and these are internal fibers. And the action of this muscle is compression of membranous portion of urethra. During micturition this muscle remain relaxed, okay, but it comes in action at end of process of ejection of urine, or we can say last drop of urine. And this muscle also comes in action at time of ejaculation. In male this muscle innervated by perineal branch of pudendal nerve. Now in next diagram, this is musculature in female. These are external fiber and these are internal fiber, and this muscle act as constrictor of urethra. And in female this sphincter urethral muscle innervated by second, third, fourth sacral nerve by the way of the perineal branch of pudendal nerve. Now come to next muscle, deep transverse perineal muscle, or we can say transverse perinea profundus muscle. It is also paired muscle. This muscle originates from ischial rami and runs towards median line, where it interlaces with tendinous raphe with its fellow of opposite side in male, but in female it courses from inferior ramus of ischium to side of vagina and meeting fibers from opposite side. And the action of this muscle helps to fix perineal body.